right, people, let's get a move on. It's tape time. Gary, see if you can find Megan. Tell her we're ready to roll.
You got it.
Viki, hello.
Honey,
Oh, your timing couldn't be better. Megan's just about to tape her big scene.
Thank goodness. I was so afraid I'd missed it.
Viki, what you doing here?
Hi, Max.
Well, what do you think? She's here to see her daughter's debut as Ruby Bright.
Oh.
That was one reason I also came to talk to you. I want to thank you for stepping in for Bo the way you have. Everyone in the family appreciates it so much.
Well, listen, Bo's a great guy. I just wish I could do more for him.
Thank you.
Yo, Mrs. B, how you doing?
Thank you. Megan?
No, Ruby. Ruby Bright.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Come on in.
I got the message to meet you here. What's going on? Does the judge want to see me?
No, someone else does. Someone who I tried to talk out of it, but, well, he won't take no for an answer.
John, come on. What is going on? Who is this guy, and what does he want with me?
I'm the guy. And I want a kiss.
Hi.
Let's try lowering Mr. Kowalski's medication. Right here. See, I've indicated the change in dosage.
But, Doctor...
I know he's not making the kind of progress we want, but over-medicating him is not my way of helping him.
Whatever you say, Doctor.
Okay.
Dan?
Oh, wait. Don't say a word. I know exactly what you're going to say. You overheard me changing Mr. Kowalski's medication, and you disapprove.
Well, as a matter of fact, I was standing there feeling kind of proud of you.
Oh,
You don't
yeah?
ever take the easy way out, do you?
Well, not unless it's the best way. You have to excuse me, Dad. I've got some rounds.
All right, be finished by 1. Dr. Anderson's convening the hospital review board. He wants you there.
Oh, well, there's no way I'm going to make it by 1. Why don't you tell Dr. Anderson to talk to the other doctors and nurses and stuff first, and I'll make it there as soon as I can.
You can't do that. You're the only one testifying.
Testifying? Dad, you make it sound like this is some kind of trial.
Well, it's an official investigation into the death of Brenda's baby.
Well, I understand that, but that's hospital procedure. Isn't it?
Dan, the investigation is centered around you. The board wants to determine if you were responsible for Steven's death.
Here's what you do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one life to live.
One Life to Live, brought to you by...
Now, you act brave with me, Dennis. You need a doctor.
Wanda, you're making too much of a simple kitchen accident.
Oh, you almost chop your hand off, and I'm making too much of it?
All I need is some tape and some gauze, and I'll be ready to go back to work.
All you need right now is to see a doctor, or else I'm going to be advertising for a new cook. Fix it.
You know, I cannot believe this is happening.
Dan, I'm just as stunned as you are. I talked to Anderson. All he wants to talk about are the
Rules and procedures, I know. Whenever there is an unexplained death, the hospital has to conduct an investigation. But, Dad, why are they blaming me?
Dan, no one's blaming anyone. You just happen to be the resident on duty at the time.
Don't they know that I would do anything to bring back Brenda's baby? Dad, when I was called away from the neonatal ICU, Steven was fine. He was on his road to recovery. Dad, and I still do not know what happened.
I don't understand it either, Dan. It's a mystery to me.
You know, if I could just turn back the clock, you know, if I could be there the second that Steven went under, you know? I mean, if there was just a chance that I could save him.
Dan, listen, you don't have to explain this to me. Just tell the story to the board, and I'm sure they'll understand.
What if they don't understand? What if Anderson and the rest of the board decide that I am responsible for Steven's death?
Well, Oleg, what are you talking about? How could anybody in their right mind blame you for the baby's death?
Thanks, Aunt Wanda. I thank you for your support, but unfortunately, you're not on the hospital board.
They're meeting this afternoon to determine the cause and the responsibility of Steven's death.
But if your father tells them what happened, then they'll stop pointing the finger at you.
Well, I wish it were that easy, Wanda. Believe me, I would love to be able to talk on Dan's behalf, but it really is up to him.
Well, but fine. If they want to find out about that terrible thing that happened that night, all they have to do is talk to the doctor that was in charge that night, right?
You're right, Wanda. You are absolutely right. But I wasn't scheduled to be in charge of neonatal that night. What if the board asks me why I traded places with the resident who was supposed to be there?
Dan, you tell the truth. Don't make up stories. That's just going to make things worse.
Make things worse, Dad. If the hospital decides that I am responsible for Steven's death, they're going to kick me out of the hospital anyway. Furthermore, they could stop me from practicing medicine for the rest of my life.
No. But that is not going to happen. Well, tell him, Larry.
What's the matter, honey? Weren't you looking for me?
Yes, I was. Good heavens. Megan, you look like a completely different person.
Care to translate, Tiff?
What I think your mother's trying to say is that she really admires your acting.
Oh, yes, that I do. No one would ever know that underneath Ruby Bright is my beautiful, elegant daughter.
That's why we pay her the big bucks.
Max, whenever you're ready.
All right, Joe, I'm going to watch it from the floor, okay? Listen, people, it's showtime. Let's do it.
Megan?
You go ahead. I promise I'll stay out of your way, all right?
Okay.
Megan.
Yes, I'm coming, Joe. Directors, occupational hazard.
Break a leg.
Thanks.
Hold it.
What?
Where is it?
Where's what?
What's the trouble, Joe?
Ruby Bright is supposed to be carrying a purse in this scene, Max.
Purse?
The purse. Oh, no.
Wardrobe!
No. It's not their fault. It's my fault. I had it and I misplaced it.
Great.
We still need a purse. For Miss Gordon, please. Wardrobe, if you please. Joe, take it.
Places, everybody. If that's not too much to ask.
All right, quiet, everybody. Tape is rolling. First cue to Mary Lynn. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Excuse me.
Yes? Yeah, I'm kind of new here on campus.
No
and,
kidding.
Yeah, I guess you can kind of tell, huh? Well, listen, normally I can find my way around anywhere, but with all this ivy and these big grassy areas with paths going
It's called
through
a
them.
quad.
Yeah. But I was never very good at math. I guess that's why I'm kind of lost.
Well, it's not hard to find your way around once you figure it all out. Can I help you?
Oh, yes, definitely. I'm looking for the, student lounge.
Oh, that's easy. You just go back to the quad, and you take the second path that you come to, and then you cross the bridge that's in between the physics building and the library.
Whoa, hun. I'm lost all over again. You think there's an easy way?
Well, you could always take the shortcut through this alley.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like shortcuts. Thanks.
Well, you know, at this time of night,
Thank you, honey. Thanks.
Hey, the Cohens keep getting prettier.
No, you just keep getting older. Out of my way, Pop.
Is this the body of an old man?
No, it's the body of a dirty old man. Oh, yes. What they say about college is true. You get an education whether you want to or not.
And cut. Okay, we'll sweeten that punch in post.
Bo, I want nothing more than to stay here in these arms for the rest of my life. But does Judge Romero know that I'm here? No, he doesn't, honey.
No. I asked John to talk to the judge to see if I could confer with John in private. And I think I'm going to go ride shotgun.
Great. Thanks, John. Oh, where were we?
If Judge Romero catches me in here...
What's he gonna do, throw me in jail? Come on. I had to spend some time with you. Who knows when we're gonna get a chance like this again? Maybe never.
Don't talk that way.
Let's not talk.
Honey, look, if it gets you in more trouble, my being here...
Well, look, I'm already in tons of trouble right now. What's a little more gonna matter?
I know it hasn't looked that good lately. But John is a good lawyer, and I know once he gets his turn, he's going to turn the jury over to your side. I know it.
Sarah.
Don't call me Pollyanna. You're innocent, and they have to see that.
Yeah, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But the only thing that I can see right now is you. I've been watching you in the courtroom. It's really getting to you, the way the evidence is just stacking up against me.
No, I'm fine. And you and I are going to get through this thing together.
Sarah, we've always been straight with one another. And I don't think this is a time for us to start pretending. We're going to have to face the fact that I could very well be convicted. I could go to prison.
You, Miss Gordon, are one terrific talent. I never realized you were so good.
Oh, thank you. I hope I'm good enough to win the daisy.
Oh, when the big night comes, you're going to be standing there center stage in the spotlight, grabbing onto the brass ring.
Oh, I hope so. But I want to just win for me. I think if I won, I'd be winning for Bo, too.
Well, that's a nice sentiment. I just wish he could hear you say it.
Well, he's going to. When I get up on that stage and I grab that Daisy Award, I want the whole country to know what a wonderful man Bo is. You know, when he came here, Fraternity Row was just another daytime soap, and then he turned it into something really special. He helped us, I don't know, work on our characters and make them real people with real emotions and create some fantasy and some fun and some hope. That's his specialty. And you know, he shouldn't be attacked in the courtroom like that. He should be encouraged and he should be applauded. And when I have my say, I'm going to be... What was that for?
Couldn't help myself. I just love it when you start getting ready to man the barricade.
Excuse me, Max?
Yeah?
Yeah, they're waiting for you in the control room.
All right, I'll be right there.
Okay.
Thanks, Gary. Listen, I would love to stay and listen to you, but we've got a lot more taping to do today.
Okay. All right. I'll catch you at the lunch break, if our new mean producer gives us one.
Oh, he's a real Captain Bligh. He's been watching me every minute.
Megan, you were wonderful.
Yeah, did you like it? Did you like Ruby?
Oh, yes, I liked you. I liked Ruby Bright. I am totally in awe of your ability to transform yourself so completely into another person.
Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you promise not to breathe a word of this to anyone.
I promise I won't say a word.
Okay. Well, yesterday, I went down to Atlantic City dressed as Ruby Bright. I wanted to get immersed in her world and experience the people that she would hang out with. That's exactly what happened.
What happened?
Well, I met this guy at the roulette wheel, this sort of wild and crazy gambler type, someone that Megan Gordon wouldn't give the time of day to. But Ruby, that was Ruby's type, and vice versa.
You spent time with this gambler?
Oh, are you kidding me? We spent hours together. He thought that I was his good luck charm. Well, actually, of course, he meant Ruby. But I guess I was sort of Ruby that night. I was. For the first time, I was Ruby Bright. And that's how I found my character.
But what about the consequences?
Oh, Viki, I mean, it was no big deal. I just hung out with the guy. Nothing else happened.
I'm not really talking about your virtue.
Oh, you mean my getting so close to my character and working on her? You were afraid with Nikki Smith?
No. I'm sorry. You and I are totally separate people. I know that. You're an actress. You're playing a part. I had a very serious personality disorder. It just makes me uneasy that you spend so much time getting into this other person.
There is nothing to worry about. Ruby Bright is just a mask that I can put on and take off whenever I choose.
Come on.
Oh, don't
Please.
you just love to watch that little ball go round and round?
Honey, it's when it drops in the slot that counts.
22, black and even.
That's us!
What?
22, he said 22.
We're 23, and the side bet is on red. Red, honey, red. Say goodnight, Georgina.
Hey, wait a minute. What did I do?
It's what you didn't do. It's exactly what you didn't do. That's what I'm upset about, as a matter of fact.
Big
Please, would you
whatever
take
you
care
are.
of
You
her?
can't talk to me like
A big
that.
whatever I am? What an
Well, I don't know
imagination
what
this
you-
girl has, besides brains and luck.
Excuse me, miss. But on behalf of the management, you have been awarded a free hour at the slot.
A whole hour?
That's right, an hour. Come on, let's go. Here you go. Enjoy. All right. My man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I owe you one.
Nah, you owe me about a dozen. Well, who's counting, right?
I hope you're not counting, because I may never be able to pay up on it.
Lighten up, Marco. Every gambler hits the slump. That's why they call it gambling.
Yeah, except last night I had myself a lucky charm, old Ruby, and now I lost her. Today I could win a coin toss with a two-headed nickel.
Po Marco. You know, you like all these other high rollers, man, you all think that there's gonna be a four-leaf clover, a rabbit's foot, lucky charm or something that's gonna give you the touch.
I'm telling you, man, last night I had amazing luck with this girl. Now all I have is her purse, an empty one at that. I'd do anything if I could just find her today.
I put all this in my official report.
We want to hear it directly from you, Dr. Wallach.
Specifically, why weren't you in neonatal ICU when Brenda McGillis' baby went into cardiac arrest?
Dr. Spencer, as I've tried to explain, Steven was doing fine. His vital signs were showing a good progress, but there was an emergency with another child in the adjacent nursery, and I had to deal with it.
Leaving the McGillis baby alone?
Well, there had been a nurse in the neonatal, but she had been called away too, momentarily.
Then you left the McGillis baby unsupervised.
Well, I had to make a choice. I mean, Steven's condition was stable, and the other child was in crisis.
All right, doctor, so you made your choice and dealt with the emergency next door. How long did this take?
Not long, Dr. Anderson, not long at all. And then when I had gotten back into the neonatal, Steven was, I'm sorry, but I still don't know what happened.
Well, that's what we're here for, Dr. Wallach, to try to understand it. Now, it says here in your report that Brenda McGillis' son was suffering from a lingering infection. Now, didn't that disturb you?
Well, of course, but his temperature had gone down dramatically. I had every reason to assume that his infection was cleared up.
You assumed?
Is that what you learned in medical school, to assume?
Excuse me, I can confirm everything Dan says. The night in question, the baby's prognosis was excellent.
Duly noted, Larry. But I have a question for you. It's come to the attention of the board that Dan wasn't scheduled to be on duty in neonatal. Did you authorize the change? It's a simple question, Larry. If you didn't give your son authorization, what was he doing there?
Bo, I'm not going to let you talk about the case this way.
Okay, look. We are going to have to be back in the courtroom any minute now, so there's something that I want to talk to you about. And I don't want an argument about this. I want a promise. Okay. If the worst happens, if I'm convicted, Sarah, I want you to promise me, if I go to prison, you gotta forget about me.
Forget you?
Yes. And I'm not asking you to do this, really. I'm telling you, you've got to do. You have your whole life ahead of you. You've got. I want you to just go on. I want you to forget about me. I want you to find somebody else.
No, Bo. You are my whole life. Don't you know that? I don't want to spend 1 minute of it without you.
Mr. Russell, what are you doing here?
Oh, hi, Judge. Well, you see, I was...
No, I don't see. Now, I gave you permission to use my chambers to confer with your client. Where's Mr. Bo Buchanan?
I'm telling you, there is no way to track her down. All that I have left of her is this purse here. It had a rock in it. You know, it's a good thing it had a rock in it, because she used it to twirl around, hit this guy in the head who was trying to rob us. But nonetheless,
you know what
no
your trouble is?
nothing.
You know what your trouble is?
What?
I'm gonna tell you what your trouble is, right? You only look for shiny stuff.
Say what?
Like money. You got to keep your eyes open for other things, man. Let me see that. Mm-hmm.
What? I won one.
I thought so.
What?
Llanview Costume Shop? There's your lead, my man. Well, what you waiting for? Make tracks for Llanview, PA, and see what you can find.
No, man. I know Llanview. I've been there. It's not a pretty place.
What are you talking about, man? A pretty little residential spot like that, man? Tree-lined streets, picket fence?
Man, I used to work in Llanview. I owned some businesses in Llanview. I had some friends. And I lost all that stuff. I swore I'd never go back to Llanview unless I owned half the world.
Well, that's close. Because you owe half the world.
Oh, come on.
All right. Look, come on, Marco. You're not ashamed to go back there, are you?
It's not about being ashamed. You just can't ever go home again, man.
You want your good luck charm? Then you better swallow your pride and go find the mystery lady that belongs to that purse.
24, black and
Of course, if you'd rather keep losing.
All right. You're right. If I want my luck back, I gotta find Ruby Bright. It's like I have to go back to Llanview if I want my luck. My life depends on it.
Yeah. Well, at 4 o'clock, Larry is officially on vacation. He's gonna drive me out to see my daddy and my brother. I think that'll do me some good, Wanda.
Oh, yes, it'll be good for you to get out of town right now, yeah. And for Larry, too.
Yeah, where is he? Have you seen him?
He's with Dan.
Oh, no, they're on rounds?
No, they're not making rounds. There's something about some kind of a hospital review board. They want to find out if Dan is to blame for what happened with baby Steven.
What? How can they possibly hold Dan responsible for that?
No, it's some kind of formality.
Well, I don't care what you call it, Wanda. That is my child that died, and I should know about some kind of trial.
Oh, don't get all upset. It's not a trial. And Larry's going to take care of his son.
Yeah, well, that's not good enough for me. Dan ought to be praised for what he's done, not investigated. And if the board doesn't understand that, I'm going to make sure that they do.
Dan had training and experience in all aspects of pediatrics.
That wasn't my question, Larry. Did you authorize Dan to be on duty in the neonatal ICU?
Dan came to me and asked for permission to be there.
What was your response?
Well,
I can answer that myself. Dad, it's okay. I'm not ashamed of what has happened. He said no. And when my father refused to grant my request, I did an end run around him.
In English, Doctor?
Well, I had exchanged duties with a resident. He had gotten time off to go see his sick mother in the hospital in Denver, and I had taken over neonatal. Now, is that a crime? I mean, am I the first doctor in history to change with another doctor?
I'm more concerned with why your father turned your request down in the first place.
Yes.
Well, it was an administrative decision.
Nothing more?
I've said that Dan was fully qualified to be there.
Then why refuse his request?
I felt he might be a little too close to the case.
In other words, you were afraid that Dan might not be able to exercise proper judgment in a time of crisis.
You want to know why I'm out here and Bo's inside? Right?
Yes, and I'm still waiting for an answer.
Well, you see, he's in there with an expert.
What sort of an expert?
A therapist. Yeah, you see, I thought it would be a real good idea if he settled down before court reconvenes.
All right, now I've heard it all. All right, Mr. Russell, I'll give your client exactly 2 minutes to get himself together, then I want him back in my courtroom.
Oh,
you understand?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, I nearly forgot. There's something I have to get from my desk before the trial. I won't disturb your client. Mr. Russell, why is my door locked? Don't bother. I'll find out for myself. So, this is the expert that you had to meet with?
Your Honor, I can explain this.
Save it, Mr. Buchanan. I can see for myself.
She is a therapist.
Mr. Russell, it's bad enough that you deceived me into giving your client access into my chambers, but to find him alone with one of the witnesses...
She's not just a witness, Your Honor. I'm in love with her. We live together. Is it so wrong to want to just spend a few minutes alone with her?
You have visitation at jail, not in my office. Now, I'm forced to consider holding you and your attorney in contempt.
Judge Romero.
No, Sarah.
No, it's okay. I'm going to tell the truth. If anyone's to blame here, it's me.
No,
Now, John,
Sarah...
please, don't try to protect me, okay? I know what I did was wrong. But I was so desperate to see Bo. Sitting in that courtroom, I just wanted to hold him and tell him how much I loved him and believed in him. Look, if that's wrong, if that's showing contempt for your court and for you, then I'm sorry. But punish me, not them. Because I would do this all over again.
Miss Gordon, please, don't get upset. I didn't mean to make you upset. I'm just sorry you didn't come to me first. I mean, I may be a judge, but I do have some feeling. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you and Mr. Buchanan another few minutes in my chambers, but then I want you back in the court. Will you come with me, Mr. Russell?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are amazing. I can't believe you. The acting really runs in the
cut it out, all right? I've had it with you.
Now, look, I had every confidence in Dan's capabilities.
And yet you refused his request to be on duty when Brenda McGillis's baby was in neonatal.
He was too close to the case. Those were your words.
It was a judgment call. I knew that Dan was a good friend of Brenda, and I thought it would be better if someone else were in charge of the baby.
Dr. Wallach, if he explained that, why did you go against his orders?
Well, you see, Dr. Anderson, my father and I have great respect for each other, but we don't always agree. Because Brenda was a friend of mine, I thought that I would be able to help her anxiety with her child, to give her a progress report so I can help ease her mind about it. I mean, after all, she was a patient herself at the time, and I was concerned about her.
Did Ms. McGillis ask you to take over that night?
No.
Excuse me. Sir, you have no right to be accusing this man of anything.
What are you doing?
No.
Brenda, I have got nothing to hide here.
I know that, Dan.
Nurse McGillis, as a member of the hospital staff, you're well aware of procedure. I'll have to ask you to leave.
Well, you can ask me to leave, Dr. Anderson, but I am not until I have had my say-so in this.
Get out of here.
No. You know how I felt when he said that he was going to be going into neonatal ICU? I felt relieved. This man is the only doctor, and he is responsible for what chance my child had at life in the first place.
Brenda, you don't have to do this.
I want him to understand this. Every other doctor in this hospital wanted me to terminate my pregnancy months earlier. Dan was the only one who agreed with me that to carry the baby to as long as I possibly could. And every single decision that he made was based on what was best for me and for my child.
Nurse McGillis, that is not the issue here.
I beg your pardon, sir. It is exactly the issue. If Dan had been in neonatal ICU, my child still would have died, and not from negligence, because it was God's will, and there was nothing that any of us could do about it. And for you to sit here and hold him responsible for it is unjust. It's just wrong. It's immoral of you to do it.
Brenda, I appreciate everything you've said. I'm sure the rest of the board feels the same way. We have all the information we need. Larry, Dan, if you'd be good enough to take Brenda out.
Sure.
We'll inform you of our decision.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Producer. Even you have to take some time out for lunch. Now, I think we should grab Viki, make a little picnic, and eat it right here in the studio.
I'm sorry, rain check. You may be through taping, but I got the rest of the show to take care of.
What, are you trying to get rid of me or something?
Oh, are you kidding? Just the opposite. I was so excited by what you did today. I just can't wait to see what you do tomorrow.
Now, wait a minute. Are you excited by Ruby Bright or by me?
Ooh, unfair. I like you. And Ruby.
Well, I've got news for you, Mr. Holden. When I have my intimate dinner with you tonight, it's going to be you and me and no Ruby.
Dinner.
No, don't tell me you forgot.
Yes, yeah, I'm
Candlelight, wine.
I'm sorry. Look, I've got a ton of catching up to do if I'm going to be a halfway decent producer.
Well, once you half decent, I love you the way you are.
Megan, I'm sorry.
But you have to take the rain check.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and do your work, and I'll find something else to keep me busy.
You just don't have too much fun without me. You got that?
Max, about the student lounge set, big problem.
Yeah, aren't they all? See you later. Coming, Joe.
That frown doesn't suit you, especially after the wonderful performance you gave today.
Well, I always have my craft.
Trouble with Max?
No, not really. It's just that I wanted to spend some time with him without talking shop.
Oh.
So, what about you? You want to split a hero with your glamorous daughter? I'll even give you the pickle.
Oh, honey, I'd love to, but I
have to take a rain check.
No, I have to go back to the courthouse.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry. Please tell Bo that everyone here at the show is pulling for him.
I will.
You didn't.
Well, when the government wouldn't help free that whale trapped in the ice up there in Alaska, I went in with my own team and got him out.
With 50 pounds of petroleum jelly?
55. I mean, we'd tried everything else, and, well, so I thought, why not the obvious, and by George, it worked.
Oh, well, let me tell you, you're a genius. A genius. Hello, Melinda. Roger. Hi. Hi, Viki. Roger just told me the funniest story.
How are you, Viki?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Fine.
You look fine.
Well, I was about to say the same of you.
Well, now that we know everybody's fine, I think I'll go check my schedule. Don't leave, please. Promise me you'll stay.
I promise.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'm afraid, actually, I have to go. I have to get back to the courthouse. Maybe I'll see you there.
Well, I don't think so. As much as I'd like to attend the trial for Sarah's sake, I don't think it's a good idea.
Why is that?
Well, let's face it, Viki, it's probably best that we don't go out of our way to run into each other.
I hate that you have to plan your life around avoiding me.
Discretion is the better part of valor. Isn't that what they say?
As they also say, there's no harm in friends running into friends.
Friends, of course.
You know, when I said you looked fine, it wasn't true. You look terrific. You've got all the color back in your face. To see you smiling and laughing with Melinda, it made me feel so good for you.
Thanks. And I was being overly polite when I said you looked fine. The truth is, you look absolutely radiant. I take it things are going well at home.
Never better, especially now that home includes Megan. We've really become very close.
And they said it would never happen.
Well, I said that. I was wrong.
I remember you're losing your temper at her. You couldn't believe that such a headstrong young woman could really be yours.
She got that from you.
Hey.
Just as I suspected. I have a conference at 2 o'clock, so we better get to work.
To work?
Yes. Didn't Roger tell you? He's going to help me put together a documentary on the local environment. And let me tell you something. Oh. This man has been such a help.
Oh, I can imagine.
So we better get going. I want to pick your brain. Bye. Good seeing you again.
Yes, goodbye, Melinda. Bye, Roger.
Take care, Viki.
You're damn right I'm angry at you. How dare you tell me how to control my feelings?
No, that's not what I'm doing
That's exactly what you did. What? You tell me not to care about you anymore, that I'm supposed to just forget about you? What, am I supposed to walk out of here just because you're in trouble?
Yes, because it's for your own good.
No! Don't tell me what's good for me and what's not good for me. You're good for me, okay? And I am good for you.
You are you?
Yes, I am. So there, you're stuck with me whether you like it or not.
Whether I like it or not.
Yes. And don't tell me anything more about forgetting about you and about going to prison. Because you're stuck with me, all right? Forever.
You know what you're doing. You know what this means? This is like your last chance for a clean getaway.
Listen. You see, I was taught to believe that a woman leaves with the man who brought her. And that's why when you walk out of that courtroom for the last time, it's going to be with me on your arm. Just free and clear.
You know something? When you say that, I can believe that it'll happen.
Believe it. Because we're going to be together. Forever.
Is there any word?
No, nothing yet, Wanda.
This whole thing is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I wish the hospital board saw it the same way.
Well, how do you see it, Larry? I mean, if the worst thing happens and they hold him responsible, what's the worst thing they can do to Dan?
That's a good question, Dad. What about it?
That's really hard to say. In the past, they've taken various approaches to this
Oh,
sort
come on. Don't sugarcoat this thing. You know exactly what can happen. It's going to ruin his whole career. You know, and you haven't helped a bit, Larry.
Brenda, come on, please.
I did the best I could.
Oh, the best? This isn't a court of law. You're not under oath. That you have to be so damn honest.
What, did you want me to lie?
No.
Dad, she didn't mean it.
No, I didn't want you to lie. Did you have to tell him everything, Larry?
Brenda, they asked me questions. I gave them the answers.
Oh, yeah, and you were just more than willing to do that, even if it meant blaming your son.
Wait a second, Brenda, honey, I wasn't there. But I'm sure that Larry did everything that he could for Dan.
Why did you have to tell him that you didn't give him permission to be in neonatal ICU? Was it really necessary to do that?
Brenda, stop blaming my dad for my actions.
All right, but you left there because you had another emergency to tend to, right?
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
And I told the board that if the circumstances came up to me again, that I would do the same exact thing. Now, if they find me guilty, I am the one to blame. I went into this thing with my eyes wide open. I am proud of what my father did. And he didn't want to hurt me, but he had to tell them the truth, Brenda.
Thank you, Dan. I wish you'd see it the same way, Brenda.
And I wish that the two of you would go off on that vacation that you were talking about a little while ago, and I think the sooner the better.
Yes, Wanda, I agree with you wholeheartedly here. Now, you guys have built up a great wall of support for me, and I appreciate that. But whatever the board says, I have to follow through with it. Now, you two stop worrying about me and just get going.
Larry, will you come with me? Dr. Anderson would like to talk with you. The board's reached its decision. Sure.
Can I help you?
Thanks for asking. I'm looking for the costume department.
I suppose you have a pass?
Well, I still have my high school hall monitor's Patrolmen's Benevolent Association secret Dakota ring and a great sense of timing. You're not into comedy here, huh? I'm sorry. I'm from the Llanview Dry Cleaning Service, and I'm here to pick up a soiled costume.
Why didn't you say that? Through that door over there. Walk down the hall to the second door on your left.
Thank you.
Everybody's a comedian.
Proby! I'm in luck.
Okay. Whoops, excuse me. Now, how many times do I have to say that?
Don't argue with the boss.
Right, now you're learning.
But now look at me, Wanda. Now, the doctors have cleaned out the cut. They sewed me up and put on a fresh bandage. I'm all set to go back and start chopping some more onion rings.
Never mind with the onion rings. You're going to go home, you're going to rest.
But, Wanda...
Now, don't but Wanda me. The customers can do without onion rings for one day. Now, I will drive you to your house.
No, you won't. Now, I know you're worried about Larry's son, so why don't you stay here? I can get Vera to drive me home.
That's a deal. If you promise that you will call me later, let me know how you're doing.
You're on. And, Wanda, thanks for caring.
Oh, get out of town. Who cares? It's just hard to get a good cook nowadays.
What is taking them so long?
Protocol, I have to discuss their decision with Dad.
What is to discuss? You haven't done anything wrong, and I hope to God that Larry's in there convincing them of that.
Now, Brenda, look. Now, whatever happens, I want to let you know what you did in that boardroom. I will always be grateful to you.
Dan, I just told him the truth. You're responsible for my baby's life. That's what I feel, no matter how brief it was.
Look, after all that you have been through, to be thinking of me at a time like this... Brenda, if I didn't know this before, I sure as heck know it now. That you are one incredible lady.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, I do.
I just want to get all this sadness and this regret behind us, Dan, so we can go on with our lives, right?
And I will second that. Now, if only those doctors would do the same thing. Okay.
Can I see you for a minute, Dan?
No, Dad, whatever Dr. Anderson has to say, he can say it right here in front of my friends.
All right, Dan. It's my duty to inform you of the board's decision.
And there is only one decision that's
Brenda,
possible, right, Doctor?
Brenda, please. Dr. Anderson, go on.
After reviewing all the evidence, the board has regretfully decided to terminate your residency here at Llanview Hospital.
No, you cannot do that,
There has to
Dr.
be
Anderson.
some mistake.
The mistake was Dr. Woleck's. I'm sorry, Dan, but your action left us with no other choice.
No, Dr. Anderson, you have to reconsider this. Now, listen.
I don't know what to say. That is just wrong, Larry. It is wrong.
I know it, Dan. Son, I really tried to talk him out of it. God, I'm sorry.
Hell, Bo, don't thank me. Thank Sarah, you know. She's the one who saved the day with the judge.
She was amazing, wasn't she? You want to hear the real kicker? She wasn't acting. She really loves me that much.
Well, what was your first clue? You're just now realizing that?
It just takes things a while to sink into this head. That's all. I've never met anybody like her before. I swear, I'm on trial for my life. I feel like the luckiest guy in the world.
Not a care in the world, right?
Bo, let's go to the courtroom.
You really think you're gonna get away with it, don't you?
Look, I don't want to tangle with you here, Grand.
It's a little late for that, isn't it? You're having a good time and my wife is lying cold in her grave.
All right, Michael, that's enough. Come on, Bo.
You enjoy yourself while you can, Mr. Buchanan, because once Gabrielle and I finish testifying against you, that smile is going to disappear from your face.